I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. Critical question, the very point of my original video was that bad things happen because of religion, and they don't need to. The focus was on harms caused by religion. Saying that these harms either aren't so common, or that your own faith community isn't participating in them, does nothing to change the fact that religion is causing it. It's not that these particular outcomes comprise a smaller proportion of the overall results of religion. The point is that the primary cause of these specific outcomes is religion. People wouldn't be protesting abortion clinics in the name of Jesus if they didn't believe in Jesus. People wouldn't be burning their kids for being witches if they didn't believe in witches. People's families wouldn't be divided by religion if it wasn't for religion. I don't know how many times I have to explain this. If religion is false, then this is all totally unnecessary. Do you actually recognize that this is a problem, or do you think it's okay to act on fictional evidence, provided you don't do it too often? Are 1,000 estimated witchcraft murders considered an acceptable casualty rate for your religion, as long as there's only been 1,000 of them? I guess it's no big deal that they literally died for nothing. Now, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that I was shocked to hear you downplay the importance of evolution in public education. I cannot believe you would claim that the knowledge of evolution has no real practical benefits at the teenage level, or evolutionary theory at high school level has really no bearing on other learning material or other aspects of biology, and they can all be cogently absorbed without it. In fact, evolution is the unifying principle of modern biology. Even the Orthodox Christian evolutionary biologist Theodosius Dobzhansky stated, "Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution." And he was a creationist. More importantly, knowledge of evolution doesn't have to provide some immediate practical application to teenagers in order to be worthwhile. That knowledge is a benefit in itself. Do you honestly think evolution isn't really that important? I mean, it's only the origin of every life form in existence on our planet, humans included. It's not like that's relevant to our lives or anything. Look, there are a lot of subjects that people learn about in school that may not be absolutely essential. You could say the same thing about calculus or the history of Egypt. Some people may never make use of that. But that's beside the point. The reason that they're taught these things is because it's a school. It is a place where people go to learn about things. That is what it's there for. The purpose of exposing people to a variety of subjects is because it could eventually be relevant to their lives, and they might take an interest in it. But they would never even know that if they aren't first introduced to the field. There's a reason it's called public education. And if you would try to excuse these abysmal statistics on the state of evolution curriculum in America by pointing out that America isn't the only country with Christians in it, then aren't you tacitly admitting that this is a problem? Furthermore, your defense of abstinence education is blatantly misleading. Stating that abstinence itself is the most safe and responsible illustrates a failure to grasp the difference between theory and practice. Abstinence and abstinence education are not the same thing. In reality, there's quite a bit of distance between simply telling people to abstain and whether or not they actually will. Claiming that abstinence itself is effective doesn't alter the fact that most people won't do it. Or rather, they will do it. Was it not your God who gave the command to be fruitful and multiply? When did that turn into suppress this fundamental biological imperative indefinitely? If you insist that abstinence is totally effective, and yet in practice your abstinence education programs accomplish absolutely nothing, then what exactly does the theoretical efficacy of abstinence even count for? Also, to suggest that most students are already knowledgeable about birth control, so there's no need to teach them about it, still misses the point of education itself. What about the people who don't already know about this? Should we just not tell them? Are they out of luck here? Were they just dealt a bad hand? And there's nothing that schools can do about this? No. It is up to the school system to ensure some baseline level of knowledge, and there is no rational reason to withhold this information from students. The refusal to educate achieves nothing, and if, as you said, the culture of the United States is the most sexualized in the world, then it should be clear that there's a genuine need for helpful and reliable information here. The more I think about it, the more I realize that out of all the methods religion has harnessed to blight the world and the mind, this is one of the the most insidious: irresponsibility. Social, educational, intellectual, and personal irresponsibility. The unwillingness to recognize that your religion may be a problem when it leads to burning people alive. The refusal to acknowledge its role in the failure to adequately educate students. The denial that your ideals about sex are simply unworkable, and the inability to admit that this is wrong. Consequences aren't important, knowledge isn't important, reality isn't important, human lives aren't even important. The only thing that matters is your faith. Perfect, impenetrable, standing in pristine ignorance as it tears the world apart. It must be wonderful to be so complacent. Thanks to you, the rest of us don't have that luxury.